Upper addiction and downer addiction. A lot of it go hand in hand, but there's a big difference in the recovery process and the actual feeling. At least for me, can you relate? Let's get into it. K-Rugs, the Soberdog, coming at you. All right, special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much. Anyone wants to help support us on Patreon, there's a link in the description. Thank you, thank you. And remember, Soberdogs does not promote or condone any drug use. Please seek professional medical help if you have an addiction. Upper versus downer addiction. You've seen all the other videos, if you have, if not, check out the other ones I put up about upper addiction, coke, heroin, all of it, because that's what I did, both. But to me, there is a huge difference. And I think a lot of it has to do with what's actually happening in the brain. I put up some of his clips, Dr. Andrew Huberman. I think he's got an awesome podcast and channel, and he talks about dopamine a lot. The clip I put up, I'll show you guys.
Nicotine, of the sort that's in cigarettes, or some people are taking nicotine in supplemental form, increases the amount of dopamine about 150% above baseline. Cocaine and amphetamine increase the amount of dopamine that's released 1,000-fold within about 10 seconds of consuming the drug.
That's insane. Cocaine and meth release 1,000-fold of the dopamine in our brain. No wonder it takes my brain so long to find happiness in, small, normal things. Years to repair. That's nuts.
He talks about how much dopamine is being released when people do coke and meth, uppers specifically. That is an insane amount and a lot of damage to the reward system of the brain. The reason I bring this up is in recovery, for me and a fair amount of people I've talked to and work with, if there's somebody who did both uppers and downers, it seems to be that coming off the downers is more physical. The actual dope sickness, the withdrawal, the feeling of what it gives to the whole body, that kind of numb, not out feeling, versus the uppers, which are a lot more of how I would describe a brain mental high, so to speak. And then when it comes to recovery, those are the things still clicking in my brain more than the downers. I have had multiple dreams about use in recovery. Every single one of them has been about uppers, about coke, for me specifically. Not one has been about downers. To this day, if I get a craving or I start really thinking about using or watch a video of somebody injecting, it is the upper, the coke, that immediately is the first thought in my brain. It's the taste, the thought, the trigger, all of it, over the downer. And that is wild to me and not incredibly unique. I also want to hear what you guys think. Anybody who did both and people in recovery, let me know in the comments. But I have so many people that have said the same thing, and I firmly believe it's got to do with the effect it has on the brain, how much insane levels of these chemicals the uppers are releasing over the downers. And that's why still the triggers and the cravings, to me, almost always focus on the uppers and bring back the uppers. I think another point with this would also be the actual high. When I would shoot up, the high from, I always described it, the high from heroin would be up to a 7, and then coast, at a 7 for a couple hours, and then, go down. The high from coke or meth, which I only did a couple times, don't have a lot of experience with it, but up to a 20, but then shortly come back down within minutes. But it's releasing so much more right off the bat that feeling is like ingrained in our brain. Can you remember like your favorite memory or your first time having sex or your first time going on vacation, like these incredible memories that kind of stick in our brain? To me, and a lot of people in recovery, let me know if you can relate, is that same thing with uppers ingrained in the brain, this memory, this feeling of like, I remember those days or that day where we had, for 2 minutes, this insane level of high, you know, boom, imprinted, memory, whatever you want to call it. I went skydiving. You guys saw the video recently. Similar to that first 10 seconds of jumping out of the plane is like ingrained in me. It was like, whoa, this is awesome. Very similar to that, this extreme rush. There's physical things going on with the increased sweating and blood pressure and heart rate, pulse, all that. So all that combined makes this new memory, and it sticks. And it's what takes a while to repair, but why I've told a lot of people this, and some people are like, what? I really believe it was harder to come off the uppers than the downers. For me, it was easier, and easy is a bad word to use, but it was a little bit less. Coming off heroin was a little easier. Not saying it was easy. It was a little easier than coke. The uppers stuck more. The cravings were there more. The cravings were more powerful. And the memories were imprinted stronger and last longer. For me. Let me know what you think. Smash that like and subscribe if you appreciate Soberdogs. K. Ruggs, the Soberdog, and I'm out. See ya.